listening to the Full Court Press with your host, Drew Duncan. Don't you dare touch that dial. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Full Court Press. I am your host, Drew Duncan. We are live on 99.5 ESPN Radio. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all at Drew Duncan 83. And don't forget, you can also call in at 620-343-6143. That's 620-343-6143. Don't forget to visit our website, 995ESPN.com. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter at ESPN99_5. How about Facebook, ESPN 99.5, the sports headquarters. Anybody else getting tired of social media yet? just kidding. Or am I? What did you do with your day? All right. What did you do this morning? Did you wake up and do anything that you thought was really cool? Well, if you did, whatever you did, it wasn't as cool as Aaron Rodgers hanging out with the Dalai Lama in India and giving him Green Bay Packers stuff. There's literally a picture on the Dalai Lama's Instagram. The Dalai Lama has an Instagram. It's literally right there, him and Aaron Rodgers, and the Dalai Lama's got a football in his hand. I can assure you that you did not wake up doing anything as cool as Aaron Rodgers kicking it with the Dalai Lama. Hey, bro. What are you going to do today? Oh, well, my kids got this thing and, we're going to go hang out. And then afterwards, me and my wife, we found a babysitter and, dude, we're just going to go out and tear up the town. What are you going to do today, Mr. Rodgers? Oh, dude, I'm just hanging out the Dalai Lama. It's no big deal. Yeah, he said he wanted some Green Bay Packers stuff. I figured I'd hook him up. Yeah, it's going to be like all over the place. It's not a thing. It's cool. It's just another Monday for me. I should be doing things like practicing, but I'd rather hang out with the Dalai Lama just to say I did it. It's just me and Danica Patrick, by the way. Yeah, it's really no big deal, bro. It's nothing. Really think about that for a minute. Some of us went to work today and we went home. That was it. Some of us visited the Grand Canyon recently or went on some great trip to Hawaii. Or went down to Florida and hung on the Cayman Islands. Some people have been to Mexico and done some really interesting things there. Nothing compared to Aaron Rodgers swapping Green Bay Packers stuff with the Dalai Lama. Sorry, bro. Not sorry. I got a pretty cool job. Matter of fact, to me, I have the best job in the world. I get to wake up and do what I love to do every single day of the week. It's like I don't even work. Unfortunately, nothing I have done is as cool as hanging out with the Dalai Lama. This is awesome. In case you're wondering what he was doing in India, it wasn't just hanging out with the Dalai Lama, by the way. He and Danica Patrick were actually there doing basically what we could call Good Samaritan work. It was through a foundation for hearing aids for people that otherwise would not have them. So Aaron Rodgers was there basically doing his own, I don't want to say Dalai Lama work, but they're doing his own goodwill and charity to people, which I just, again, man, I love stories like that. We're so enamored for whatever reason with bad news. I don't get it. Half the time, if I see some athlete get arrested, I don't even care. Conor McGregor, yeah, that was kind of like a thing to talk about, but half the time I'm just like, dude, whatever, man. He can live his life. He's going to do whatever he's going to do. It's sad that some people, get wrecked along the way with the way that some of these guys act. I understand all that. But to me, negativity doesn't really drive me in the morning. I don't wake up and it's not that any of us wake up and look for bad news necessarily. It is kind of shoved down our throat. But I'm in a position to where I'm very fortunate that my company allows me to dictate a lot of my content. And so a lot of my content is going to be news like this because I think it's awesome. Danica Patrick takes a lot of heat. And, you would think that because they're doing this together, that maybe she's with a guy like an Aaron Rodgers because of who he is outside of a football field. Think about that for a moment. Maybe Danica's got a bigger heart than a lot of us really think about. Part of the reason why she's not in NASCAR anymore is because she said she felt very trapped. She talked about how she just felt like she was always told when to, where to go, who to talk to, what interview to do, what charity work I can do. I've got to be able to kind of live my life. And please don't go into Danica Patrick was unsuccessful in NASCAR because there are a laundry list of guys that have raced for years that have never won a single race. So please don't go that route with me. See how quickly you can get negative? Doesn't take much. So I think it's just really awesome that Danica Patrick and Aaron Rodgers are doing things like this. And sometimes when you do things like this, you get to do other cool stuff that maybe you didn't even see as a possibility of happening. Like meeting the Dalai Lama. Dude, I would never in my wildest dreams even begin to think that I could ever wake up one morning and bump in or purposely meet the Dalai Lama. It's one of those, the Dalai Lama is one of those people, right, that you only hear about in movies. And it's usually like in a comedic matter. Like have you ever seen Wedding Crashers when they were talking about the Dalai Lama, right? And because dude had like those anger issues. And he's like, yeah, and who's he seeing for him? None other than the Dalai Lama himself, I mean, like, that's how people present it. That's what it's regaled to, is a comedic afterthought. It's not the wisdom that this guy could impart to you. It's not practicalities that he can impart into your life. It's not a sense of peaceful serenity that he can impart into your life. It's never those things. It's always a comedic thing. I mean, come on, even I've taken kind of a comedic approach with this. But I mean, is the Dalai Lama himself interesting enough for somebody to talk about unless it's in a manner of an Aaron Rodgers meeting up with him? Because who would have thought that I mean, I didn't wake up thinking, I'm going to go look up Aaron Rodgers and I'll bet he met with the Dalai Lama. No, that's not how that worked. I was like, dude, Aaron Rodgers is hanging out with the Dalai Lama? That's pretty cool. Plus the charity work that they're doing while they're there. It's just, there's so much good out there that is happening. I couldn't wait to talk about everything that the Houston Texans players were doing last year when the hurricane hit. I couldn't wait to talk about J.J. Watt and the impact that he had down there. I couldn't wait to talk about J.J. Watt years beforehand when he and a couple of other guys had showed up and done a camp against bullying. And we're showing up to random people and hanging out with them and saying, let's go meet your bully, bro. There are a lot of people who just give back to the community and they don't really expect anything out of it. And you could look at this Aaron Rodgers thing and go, oh, dude, come on. They kind of made a spectacle of it and da-da-da-da-da. Or you could say, you know what, it's a thing that just sort of happened and I want to be able to remember it for the rest of my life. And I took a picture of it and it's on social media because I don't remember seeing it on Aaron Rodgers' Instagram. And I follow that dude on Instagram and Twitter. Matter of fact, the way that I found out about this was I was doing research for the show last night and I was looking at stuff for Davis from Green Bay, who we're going to be talking about here in a little bit. And his little incident at LAX, just because I think that's kind of funny, but not funny. Anyways, and then I came across this as being next, and I thought, dude, there's no way. Yep, sure did. It happened. Aaron Rodgers, Dalai Lama, bro code. What's up, dude? Hanging out. Bro time. Have you ever had bro time with the Dalai Lama? So don't get jealous of my watch, dude. You've done a lot of cool things in your life. That's awesome. But you haven't met the Dalai Lama. So you fell short. Nothing we can do about it. I fell short too. I missed the mark in life, dude. I missed the mark. I know I missed the mark because I have never met the Dalai Lama, and I probably never will. Namely because I don't like to travel overseas. I got to think about flying, but that's another conversation for another day. The point is here, Aaron Rodgers and Danica Patrick are going places, and they're giving back to people. The Dalai Lama is not this untouchable being that I think maybe some of us believe him to be. Obviously, he makes himself available and social to the rest of us, which I think is awesome. And like I said, I anticipate at some point somebody getting a hold of Aaron Rodgers is saying, what did you guys talk about? And while you got to believe that a lot of that conversation was probably very private in nature, just because it is the Dalai Lama and things that he may share or discuss with you are so in depth that to be able to put it into words, because it probably would take you maybe a lifetime to fully grasp everything that he ever told you. But I'm pretty sure Aaron would be able to accurately articulate something about, look, man, this guy, he and I sat down and we had a conversation about life. And I got to tell you, I walked out of there feeling like a completely different man. And I'm sure Danica Patrick would tell you the same thing. I walked out of there feeling like a completely different individual, period. Because you have to think, these guys are athletes. Danica Patrick is a racer, 200 miles an hour, taking turns. We've seen what could happen in a racetrack with the late, great Dale Earnhardt. Your life is at risk. We've seen guys get injured in the NFL and never come back from it. Your life, your quality of life is always at risk. Can you imagine what it must have felt like to go there and to feel that peace? I mean, that had to have been the most incredible sensation in the world. Definitely kudos to Aaron Rodgers and Danica Patrick for giving back. And, man, shout out to the Dalai Lama. If you hear me, bro, call me up, man. We'll do an interview. This is the Full Court Press. I am your host, Drew Duncan. We are live on 99.5 ESPN Radio. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all at Drew Duncan 83. 620-343-6143 is the number. That's 620-343-6143. We got a lot more to get to. We got Marcus Mariota doing things with Special Olympics. Big deal. We're going to be talking about that. It was super awesome. We may get to more NFL free agency. We're definitely going to talk about Odell Beckham Jr. We're definitely going to bring that up. It is Talk to Me Tuesday. In case you missed some of the program, we discussed the Royals. We've already had a couple of guests on this show. Dylan Sherwood from the Emporia Gazette was on talking Emporia High Sports with us. We had Camden Holton, a junior from Olpe. He was on the program alongside with his coach, Eric True. They called in earlier, had a lot of good things to say. Got a lot more to get to, guys. Tim Tebow. Is he going to be a pro football player again? We're going to talk about that right after this. Don't you dare touch that dial.